We just got the earth breathing, so you go ahead.
Okay, good.
Is Karen Lolly? I'm sorry.
Yes,
we
we're going to just be quiet during the class. Karen is here, Sarah, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Linda, it's all yours.
Okay, well, you can either sit on the chair or you can sit on the floor for this next set of exercises. So if you're sitting on the floor, you just sit cross-legged or with your legs straight out. If you're not comfortable cross-legged, otherwise you can sit on your chair. Because the exercises for this next first part are the same whether you're on the chair or on the floor.
Can you please mute yourself, Sarah?
Yes, sorry about that. Hold on one second.
I muted you. Sorry, Linda, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're not comfortable sitting on the floor, or if you have trouble getting off the floor, then you sit in the chair so you don't have difficulty. So it's the same warm-ups for necks and everything on the floor or on the chair. So we're sitting either on the floor or on the chair. We'll start with some neck exercises first. Just lower your chin down. Hold briefly. Move your chin over towards your left armpit. So you get a diagonal stretch. And then move over towards the right armpit. Back to the center. Raise your head up. If you have any neck issues, support your head with your hand. Anytime you're looking up. Turn your head towards the left, so keeping your chin up, looking up to the ceiling. Turn your chin towards the right, still looking up. Come back to the center and center your head. Take a big breath and then lower your ear towards your left shoulder. And up and over towards the right shoulder. And back up to the center. Now we're going to just relax the shoulders a bit, shrugging your shoulders up and making little circles. And then stop and circle the other direction, just circling for your shoulders, circling and circling. Okay, now next we'll stretch out the front of the shoulder by bringing your fingertips together and do a blade breath. Where you inhale, bring your elbows all the way back, and exhale, bringing the fingertips to touch. Inhale, bringing back, and exhale, touching. Adjust this just a little bit. 3 more breaths like that. Just inhaling, bring the elbows back, and exhale, touching. A little stretch for the front of the shoulder. Now we'll just stretch for the back of the shoulder. Bring your elbows together, palms together, and inhale up. It might be just a little way. Your arms might come right above your head. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. We'll do 3 more breaths like that. Stretching up on the inhale. Lowering down on the exhale. Stretching up on the inhale. And down for your exhale. 1 more time. Just relax your shoulders, shrugging them up, let them relax. Now we'll do a little arm exercise. Touch your shoulders, this is with breath. And inhale, bring your arms straight out. Exhale, touching. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, touching. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, touching. After a while, your arms will start to feel it. Just do 1 more. Bring the elbows to the front and the same thing. Inhale, exhale, touching. Inhale, reach, exhale, touch. Inhale, reaching. A few more. Relaxing out shoulders. Now we do a palm breath. Stretching the arms up this time. Palms facing upward at the shoulders. Inhale as though you're pushing the ceiling up. Exhale, hands come down to touch the shoulders. Inhale, pressing straight up. You might not be able to touch the shoulder, but down as far as you can. We'll do one more. And relax the arms. Next, we're coming right down to the wrist. Interlace your fingers and make figure eights one way and the other way. So figure eight one way, figure eight the other way. Round and around. Round and around. And then stop and go the other way, making figure eights. Little movements, just little movements. Good. Then shake out your hands, shake, 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 relaxing the wrists, relaxing all the fingers, shaking them out, shaking everything out. And now we'll do a little finger exercise. Stretch your arms and your fingers out fully. Inhale. Exhale, folding your first fingers in, pushing down with your thumb. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, the second finger comes up, in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, the third finger comes in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, the fourth finger comes in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, all the fingers come in. Inhale, stretch them all out. Exhale, the first finger folds. Inhale. Exhale, the second finger folds. Inhale. And exhale, the third finger folds. My pussycat's getting there. Keep on until you finish all the fingers. And then all the fingers fold in. And you inhale, stretching them all out. And shake your hands out again. Just shake, 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 shake. Good. Now we're going to start a little stretch from the side. Now this one you can, if you want to do it standing, you can. If you're sitting in your chair, you hold on to the left side of your chair, right side of your chair, let the left arm dangle, and then lean over as far as you can. If your fingers touch the floor, just bend your wrist or bend your fingers up so you're getting more of a stretch. Leaning, leaning, leaning as far as you can. Holding on to the side of your chair so you don't fall out. Holding that stretch. Coming up, and we'll go to the other side. Hold on to the side of your chair. Lean over, leaning, leaning, leaning. If your fingers touch the floor, bend your elbow or your wrist. Holding to the side, stretching out the side, and coming back up. Now, if you want to do standing instead, you would stand up and just lean, 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 without holding anything, just leaning over and letting your arm hang. Same exercise standing, if you're able to stand. And then coming up. I guess everybody's able to stand, but if you want to do it without a chair, and over to the other side, just letting the arm dangle, holding, breathing, and coming back to the middle. Sitting on our chairs or sitting on the floor again, you can bring your fingertips to touch your shoulders. You inhale and exhale to one side. Inhale to the middle, exhale to the other side. And a couple more on each side, side and side. A little twist for the ribcage each time. Now stop at the center, pull the bottom arm out, and put it in front. And continue. Inhaling, exhaling, twisting. Inhaling, exhaling, twisting. So you're doing twisting to one side and twisting to the other side. Come back to the middle and lower your arms down. Relax the shoulders. Now we'll do a deeper twist. If you're sitting on the floor, you simply bring your right hand to the outside of the left leg and the other hand behind. If you're sitting in the chair, same thing. One hand comes behind, the other comes to the outside of your leg. Pulling gently on your leg as you twist to the side. Holding that twist and breathing. Twist to the front, and again, move your hand to the outside of your leg, the other hand behind your back, either behind the back of the chair or behind your back on the floor. Pushing gently against the outside of your leg and hold. We'll do each side again, coming to the middle. Again, hand comes to the outside of your leg, other hand behind your back. And holding that twist and breathing. Twisting to the front and across to the other side, hand to the outside, other hand behind the back of the chair. Spine stretched straight up and down, pulling gently on the outside of your leg, holding that twist, breathing. And coming back to the middle. Now we're going to start doing a little bit of stretching for the back. First we're going to just bring your hands, elbows to the floor, round your back and curve over, trying to bring your forehead towards your knee. So it's rounding your back, pushing the middle of your back up, rounding your back. When you're sitting on the floor, you do this with your legs straight out in front of you. And then coming up, and now lengthening out, folding out from the top of the leg, lengthening out and reaching towards your feet. If you're sitting on the floor, you have your legs straight out and you're doing the same thing, reaching towards the feet. And relax your neck as you hold the stretch for the lower back. And when you come up, coming up tall. Now we're going to do a little back bend with breathing. Interlace your fingers in front of you. Press your hands out and up. Big breath in. Bring your hands to behind your head. Move back so you're leaning on the back of your chair if you're in your chair. Otherwise, just stretching up and going into a back bend. Bending back. You're on the chair. You curve right over the top of the back of your chair. Stretching out the front of your body. Coming back upright, big breath in, and exhale, relax. And we'll do that little set one more time. Just bring your elbows or your hands just above your knee and round your back. As though you're trying to bring your forehead to touch your knees. So you're stretching out that area between the shoulder blades, just rounding out, rounding your back. Stretching up tall as you can and then folding at the top of the leg. If you're doing this on the floor, you stretch the legs straight out. Otherwise, if you're in the chair, you bring your hands down beside your feet. If you're on the floor, you stretch your hands forward to touch your toes. Folding, bring your chest down to your thigh if you're sitting on your chair. Let your neck relax. Breathing, and then coming back upright. Now we're going to do a stretch for the hamstrings. So slide forward on your chair. Stretch your left leg forward, your right knee is bent. If you're sitting on the floor instead, you do the same thing. You bend the one knee and stretch out over the other leg. So reaching down, like sliding your hands down the leg as far as you can, If you're able to, you reach right to your toes and just holding that stretch. If you want a stronger stretch, you can flex your foot to get a stronger stretch, holding that stretch right down the back of your leg. Come back up, sliding your hand back up. Bend that knee, straighten the other leg out. Slide your hand down the leg. If you're sitting on the floor, you just bend the knee and slide your hand down the leg as far as you can. You cut your calf to the ankle, right to the toe, whatever you can reach, holding the stretch and breathing, stretching out that hamstrings on that leg. And then coming back up, we'll do each leg twice. Stretch out your left leg, lengthen your body, hold right to the top of the leg, and you want to get that straight back and straight leg, reaching as far down the leg as you can. Feeling the stretch in the back of the hamstring. Nice stretch. And then coming up, changing sides. Bend the other leg. Bend that leg, straighten the other leg, sliding the hands down the leg as far towards the toe as you can. Could be towards the calf, could be to the ankle, could be right down to your toe. Whatever you can reach, holding that stretch and breathing. Coming back up. Now we're going to just loosen up the hips a little more by bringing your leg out to the side and then bringing it in. Putting your leg to the side, bring it in. If you're sitting on the floor, you do exactly the same thing, bending your knees and bring your foot to the side and back. To the side and back. Outward rotation for the hip joint. Now go to the other side, just bring your leg out to the side and back. Out to the side and back. So we're rotating the hip joint out and in. Out and in. And since we did the hip joint out, rotated outward, let's do the shoulder joint rotating outward as well. So bring your elbows to touch your waist. So our elbows are right touching the body. Bring your arms towards the left side and pushing that left arm back. Outward rotation towards the shoulder joint. So you usually feel it right up at the top of the arm here. Pushing that hand back as strongly as you can. To the front. Now outward rotation for the shoulder on the other side. Just pushing the arm out so your shoulder is rotating back. Pushing strongly and coming back. Over to the other side again and pressing the arm strongly back. Breathing. And changing sides over to the other side. Pressing back with that arm so you feel it right at the top of the shoulder. And finish. Shrug your shoulders. Now we're going to do a circle for the leg. If you're sitting on the floor, it's exactly the same thing. You lift your left leg up and move the leg around in a circle. So this is the hip joint is getting warmed up. Flexibility for that hip joint. Stop and circle the other direction. Stop and then swing your leg back and forth. The knee is a hinge joint, so it just goes back and forth. It doesn't go all the way around. And changing legs. Grab your other leg and just pulling it around in circles, as big a circle as you feel comfortable with. Stop and circle the other direction, just circling. As big a circle as you feel okay with doing. And stop, and then swinging your leg back and forth. Good. Sitting up tall, now bring your left ankle across the other leg if you can. If you can't bring it up that high, just bring your leg up as far as you can. Grab your toes if you're able to and pull your foot around in circles. Now, if you find that you can't get your foot up high enough to grab your toes, you just bring your foot up as high as you can and hold your leg and make circles with your ankle. So I know some people have difficulty getting their foot up that high. So you're making circles and then circle the other direction. Either holding onto your leg or holding your toes. Now stop and point your toes strongly. If you're able to, you grab your toes and hold them. If you have your foot down lower and you're not able to, you just point your toes, point strongly, so you get that stretch on the top of the foot. Then flex your foot, grab your toes if you're able to, and pull the foot in towards your shin, pushing the heel out. Again, if you can't reach your toes, you still flex your foot in, or you can even have your foot on the floor and flexing your foot strongly. We do what we can. Then relaxing that leg. Now the other leg, if you're able to get it across, do so and grab all the toes and make circles. If you can't get it across, you can just bring your leg as high as you can off the floor so you can make circles with your ankle and then circle the other direction. Now either hold the toes and pull the toes out strongly, stretching out the top of the foot, or just simply point your toes strongly without holding the toe if you can't reach the toe. Then flex your foot strongly. If you're able to grab the toes when you flex your foot strongly, and then push the heel out with the other hand. There's always more than one way to do everything. That's what I found. When I'm planning things in life, I always have plan A, B, and C. If one thing doesn't work, then I just go on to the next. And then go in the feet, just wiggle your toes, stretch all your toes, lift your toes and stretch all your toes apart, getting space between all of the toes. I know this can be hard sometimes if you're not used to it. You should be able to see between all your toes and then crunch them all together and curl them, and stretch them up and get space between all those toes, and then curl them down. There we go. Okay, now we're just about ready to go. Now we're ready to come up to standing. So we'll come up to standing standing up straight, and just standing beside your chair. You have your chair there if you need it. If you don't need it, you don't have to use it when we're doing standing postures. You can just stand up straight in mountain pose without using the chair, or if you need a chair, you put one hand on the chair. Stretching up tall, take a couple breaths. Okay, we'll start our standing postures with a cross-legged forward bend. So you can either start just standing beside the chair, cross the left leg in front of the right, and curl forward, or you can stand facing your chair if your balance is weak, and curl forward to face your chair. And as you curl forward, you put the hands on the chair and then bend the elbows and put your head on the chair. So this is for if you have a balancing issue, you stand and do facing the chair and just bring your forehead to the head to the chair or your hands to the chair. You want to get the stretch in the lower back. Otherwise, you're standing beside the chair and letting your arms hang. If the hands touch the floor, clasp your elbows. And holding that stretch for the back of the hip. And uncurl to upright, just curling upright. Coming up to standing. Uncross, and we'll do the other side. So the other side, you cross the right leg in front of the left, and you curl down. Just curling down. If you want a little bit of support, you turn to face your chair. Place your hands on the chair and curl. I've had experience with people losing their balance when they're doing this without the chair, so always make sure that you're safe. It's more important to be safe than to be able to do a posture perfectly. So if you need the chair, you can either put your hand on the chair or stand facing the chair so that you're getting a nice stretch. And then come back up to standing and uncross. And flexing your legs, relaxing your legs. Okay, now we're going into a full forward fold. Now if you need your chair, keep one hand on the chair. And as you fold down, let your hand come down the chair. If you don't need the chair, put your hands on the front of your legs and just slide your hands down, 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 as far as you can, and hold. So you either bring your hands down the front of your leg, or you're having one hand on the chair leg and the other on your front of your leg. Hold, breathing, feel that stretch in your lower back. Just letting your body hang. Stretching out the hamstrings, lower back. Neck is relaxed. Come up if you can walk your hands up the front of your leg or up the chair leg if you have one hand on the chair still, and come right up to standing, stretching tall. Now we'll do a standing back bend. You can put your hands on your hips, or if your balance is weak, have one hand on the chair and one on the back of your hip. Stretch tall and then start curling over. If you have neck problems, keep your chin forward so you don't strain your neck. Curling backward, hands on the hips. You want a straight line from hip to ankle, so it's just stretching up and over from the waist. Your hips don't move forward. Breathing in that back bend. Then coming back up to the middle and relax your neck. Dropping your head forward. Okay, raise your head. We'll do that a set again. The forward bend and back bend. You put your hands to the front of the leg or one hand on the chair if you need it for balance, and fold forward. You can either slide your hand down the leg of the chair or slide both hands down the fronts of your legs. As far down as you can. Take it slowly. If you have pain, just slowly do it even slower. Then drop your head, relax your neck, and breathe. As you come up, you're walking your hands up the front of the leg or using the chair. Coming up to standing up straight, stretch tall. Bring your hands to your hips or keep one hand on the chair if you need it for balance. Stretch up and curl back. If you have no neck issues, you can look up. Otherwise, keep your chin forward so you don't strain your neck. Breathe while you're holding. And then coming back upright, drop your head forward, roll your head from one side to the other, relaxing your neck. And coming back to the center. Okay, next we're going into a side stretch. Bring your feet about shoulder width apart, maybe a little more. You can have one hand on the chair or you just have it beside you. Raise the other hand up and stretch over to the side. If you need a chair for balance, keep a hand on the chair. Otherwise, that hand is just on the outside of your leg. And then coming up, and we'll go to the other side. If you're using the chair, you can go to the other side of your chair and stretch your arm up and go stretching towards the chair. If you don't need the chair, your hand can slide down the outside of your leg, getting a side stretch. And coming back up and relaxing that arm, relaxing everything. Standing beside your chair, we're going into a balance. First, we'll do a fairly simple balance. Get all your weight onto your right foot. Get a focal point focusing on some spot on the wall or on the floor. Bend the other knee up, and then bring your hand forward in front of that leg. If you need your chair, keep the other hand on the chair. If you don't need the chair, bring that other hand up. Holding that and breathing. This is a crane balance. And again, if you need that hand on the chair, you keep the hand on the chair. Lower your arm and your leg, and do the other side. So you go to standing, you have your hand on the chair or not, and you bring your leg up, hand over the leg. And if you don't need the chair for balance, you raise the arm up. If you need the chair for balance, you keep your hand on the chair. And lower your arm and your leg, and relaxing your legs. Okay, that's, now we're going to turn the chair seat to face you. So you have the seat of the chair facing you. Because we're going to do a stretch for the shoulders. If you want to do a downward dog on the floor instead, it's the same stretch. So you either will have the fingers curled around the chair, step back and lower the body down. Or for people who prefer to be on the floor, you come into a downward dog on the floor. So you either are doing a downward dog, or you have your hands curled around the back of the chair, dropping through and holding that stretch. Nice strong stretch for the back of the shoulder. And stepping forward, and now we'll do the upward dog. Now, if you have bad wrists, this is not, very careful with this one if you have bad wrists, because you have to put some weight on your hands. Put the hands on the sides of the chair, step your feet back, come up onto the toes, and bring the hips towards the chair. You might just be able to do a plank, which is okay, or you might be able to do an upward dog, having a curve in your back. Or if, as an alternative, if you're working on the floor, you go into your upward facing dog on the floor with your weight on your toes and your hands. So you can do an upward facing dog here or a plank. It's quite strong on the arms, so be very careful if you have wrist issues. And then stepping forward and standing up. Okay, we'll do those two again. So you're either doing the one with the chair or the downward dog. With the chair, you curl your fingers around, drop the shoulders through. If you're doing it on the floor, you go into your downward dog on the floor. Holding that. And then from there, we're doing the upward facing dog. So with your chair, bring your hands to the sides of the seat of the chair. Feet step back, come up on your toes, move your hips towards the chair. You might just move a little ways and then you're in a plank, or you might be able to move them all the way towards the chair and do an upward facing dog. Getting that curve in your back. And coming out. Good. Now then you bring your elbows to the chair and relax. Or if you're still standing, without the chair, just do a curl forward and a forward bend. Just relaxing forward. Okay, let's do the next one. We're going into a stretch for the legs. We'll do a plank. We can do it with the chair or without a chair, or a plank, a lunge, high lunge. So if you want to use your chair, you stand with your knees right up at the chair. Take a long step back with your left foot, curl the toe under, and press that heel back towards the floor behind you. So you're getting strong stretch on the back of the leg. If you don't need the chair, it's the same thing, only you're standing, coming up, and bring your arms up above your head. So hands either on the chair or stretched up above your head in your lunge. So it's what we call the high lunge. You can have your arms up, pressing that heel back, and then stepping forward. We'll do the other side, just stepping your foot back as far as you can, toes curled under, other knee is slightly touching the chair. If you want to go into a high lunge, you can bring your arms up and go into a high lunge without the chair, or you can keep your hands on the chair. It's the same stretch, still that stretch for the back of that leg. And step the foot forward. Good. Next, we're going into the warrior one, and we'll do that the same way. Only this time, turn your left foot out 45 degrees. And when you hands on the chair, when you take a step back, you bring your heel to the floor. So your heel is on the floor. So you have a turn out at the hip in Warrior One. Now, if you want to come up and do the full Warrior One, come up and raise your arms up. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent, and hold. Or you can keep your hands on the chair. Then you lower your hands to the chair and step forward and do the other side. Turn the right foot out 45 degrees. Take a long step back. Heel is on the floor, toes turned out. Other knee is touching the chair. Stretch up as far as you can. Or if you want to come up further, or you can bring your arms up in the final position. Be careful when you're going into these postures that you don't lose your balance. Breathing while you're holding. Warrior One. Then you bring your hands down to the chair and step your leg forward and relax your legs. Okay, let's continue with another chair. Let's see what time we've got. Go ahead, time up now. We'll do another exercise with your chair, or with the floor. This time you bring your feet into a straddle, and you either put your hands on the chair, or for those who are more flexible, you can put your hands on the floor. It's the same exercise with or without the chair. And then just raise one arm up, twisting. So you have your hands on the floor or your hands on the chair. You're standing in a straddle. Lower that arm down and raise the other arm, going into a twist. Go to each side one more time. Raising your left arm up, going into your twist. Lowering your left arm, raising your right arm up, going into your twist. Lowering that arm down. Okay, next we're going into triangle. For this one, okay, there you go. You have the chair facing away from you, so your hand is just resting on the back of the chair. You stand with your feet apart, turn your left front toe out 45 degrees, your back toe in 45 degrees, front foot out 90 degrees. Your hand is on the chair. You slide the front hand down the leg. Your other hand is on the back of the chair for safety. If you don't need that hand on the back of the chair, you're going into triangle. You lift the hand up. Otherwise, just turn the chest to face the chair and hold. Triangle with chair. Coming up. I'm going to show you the other side. It's this way. Put your hand on the chair. The front foot is out 90 degrees. Back foot is in 45 degrees. The outside hand comes down the outside of that leg. You either can have your elbow bent and just bring your chest to the front, or you can raise that arm up and you're in your triangle. So you can use the chair if you need it for balance, but you don't have to. And then coming back up, good, and just shaking the legs out. Just shaking your legs out. And now let's stand right behind our chair. So stand behind your chair so you're so close that the front of your thigh is actually touching the top of the chair. And we're going to do one for the butt, and this one's called variation on locust. So inhale, bring your leg back and up. Exhale down. Inhale, other leg back and up. Exhale down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale down. Just continuing. Getting those thigh back as far as you can each time you lift up. exercise for the back of the thigh and the butt. We can do a few more. Nice little exercise. Just one more on each side. Good. Now standing tall, we'll step back a bit. Now we're going into a fierce pose. You don't need to have your fingers on the chair, but if you need fingers on the chair, keep them on the chair. Otherwise, just bending the knees, just slightly angled forward. Going in a partial squat. Then you can raise your arms up beside your head, or you can have your arms forward if that makes it a little bit gentler for your shoulder, or you can have your hands on the chair. So you've got 3 different positions, and you're breathing while you're holding that. Nice strong exercise for the legs, and lower the hands down. Next, we're going to do a variation on the fierce pose. Come up onto your toes. Coming down into your fierce pose. You keep your hands on the chair, straight forward or straight up. Holding that and breathing. Lower your hands down, stretching up. Relax your legs. We'll do those 2 one more time. Fierce pose and fierce pose on the toes. So coming down, stretching your arms either forward or up, or keeping the hands on the chair for balance. Breathing while you're holding. Lowering your hands to the chair, stretching your legs out. Coming up onto the toes, just right up on those toes. Bending those knees. Hands can either come forward or up or rest on the back of the chair. Hands down, stretching your legs out. Now turn your chair around so it's facing you again. And we're going to do a sumo breathing. Now you can do this if you're able to. The actual sumo breathing is you fold forward and hold your toes. But we'll do it with just putting the hands on the chair to make it go gentler, unless you want to try the more difficult one. And you inhale, bring your back down, head up. Exhale, round in the back, tucking the chin in. So inhaling back down, chin up. Exhaling, chin tucks and back comes up. Nice strong breaths. Doing one more. And step the feet together and coming back up to standing. Okay, just standing beside our chair again. We're going into another balancing pose because balancing is such a big issue. So we're going to go into an eagle. You can either do it standing beside your chair or you can even do it sitting down. So when you go into your eagle, you bend the knees and lean forward. You can have your hand on the chair, you wrap the other leg, cross above the knee and cross back below the knee. So that's the leg position. The arm position is you wrap opposite arm over, but if you need your chair, you just keep the hand on the chair and bring the other hand in front of your chest and in your eagle. Or you can do the eagle, just sit on your chair, cross your legs above the knee, cross the foot, curl the foot back below the knee, and then do the arm position. So you can do the eagle sitting on the chair with your legs wrapped and your arms folded. Okay, now we'll do it to the other side. Unwrap. And then bring the other leg over, cross above the knee, and try to cross back below the knee, getting that foot hooked in behind the calf. Arm wrap is just the opposite. Cross above the elbow, cross back below the elbow. Have your fingers straight or curled. You can do this sitting on the chair or standing. You can have the chair next to you when you're standing. Or another way to do it is to have the wall right behind you. So you can do your wrap with the wall behind your butt. And that way you can get the arm position too. So if your balance is weak, use whatever you need. Your wall, your chair. The chair, you can't get the arm position. So it's better to do it with the wall behind you if your balance is weak. And then coming out of it and relaxing. That's your ego. Okay, I think we're just about out of time. So let's come down now and sit back in our chairs. We'll do a little bit of breathing and relaxation. Or if you want to, you can sit on the floor for the breathing. And then when we relax, you can lie on the floor or sit in your chairs. So we're going to just do mountain breathing in your chair. In mountain breathing, you inhale, palms are together. Inhale, bring your hands up and back as far as you can. Exhale, bring those arms down in front of your chest. We'll do one more breath in the mountain breathing. And then we'll go into a relaxation. For relaxation, you can either lie on your back on the floor, letting your feet fall loosely upward, hands at your sides, or you can sit in your chair with your hands loosely on your thigh. Stretch it. You can lean back on the chair so you're a little more settled, and just inhaling, exhaling, and relaxing, letting your eyelids fall downward, either gazing down at the floor or closing your eyes altogether. And focusing your attention on your breath coming and going as you relax. Now raise your gaze, start to wiggle your fingers and toes, get a movement in your fingers and toes. And we'll finish with an earth breath. Bring your arms up, gathering all that energy, bring your palms together, bring it back towards your heart. On the exhale. There you go. So thank you for coming. I must apologize for all the pets and distractions.